I am so excited to be back with you all, podcasting again, being able to talk through exactly what we need to do to help you make some positive decisions and to be able to have a system to track all of those extracurricular activities that you are doing throughout the year. It can be really easy to forget things or to think, oh, I'll just work on this sometime later. It's no big deal. I'm going to remember what it is. And then time goes by, and before you know it, it's time to work on those college applications. And as you try to remember what it is that you're doing or what you have done, you think, oh my gosh, I know that I'm going to forget something. So today, we're going to talk about how to track those extracurricular activities for your high school student or for you as the high school student. Hey there, I'm Courtney. I am the founder of Confused to College Ready, and I am so excited to spend time with you every week. I have over 16 years experience working as a mental health therapist turned school counselor, and I cannot wait to be able to share and help make your experience in the college search go a little bit more smoothly. Anything from starting out in 8th grade year and freshman year all the way through making those final decisions and being able to say, this is the college that I'm going to, and being able to know how to prepare for freshman year of college. So I cannot wait to be able to share a little bit more with you. Stay tuned. All right, so we talked a little bit about how many times we have thought that we were going to remember something and then all of a sudden we don't. Time goes by and you think, oh my gosh, what was that I should have written down? What are the things that I've done? If you keep track of this, it really is little bits at a time. And being able to help yourself in the future. We have been talking lately at our house. That's one of the things that we say is, future Courtney is going to be very thankful that I did this. Or, my husband, future Terry, is going to be very thankful I solved a future Terry problem at work today. And that is no different than what we are going to talk about today with the college search process. So it really is about taking those little tiny steps in the beginning that can help you in the long run. Now, I will say, if you are later on in your high school journey, it's okay. You're not too late. What we're going to do is we are going to start where you are right now to be able to make things go smoothly, to come up with that system so that you know exactly what and how to track those activities. So I have a student that I worked with, and she had been incredibly involved in the school and in the community. She knew all of the activities that she had done, but didn't keep specific lists or details about that. She didn't have contact people if she needed to be able to go back for letters of recommendation from a place that she had volunteered at. And when it came time to start applying to colleges, she had to spend a lot of time going back and saying, okay, in my freshman year, I know that I did this and this and this, but I feel like there was more that I had done. And so she and her family were spending a lot of time going back and through old email accounts, through looking at emails of different activities, looking for different connections and different people of who she needed to talk to, peers that she had been in activities with. Hey, what was the name of that award? Or what was the name of our group? Or what was it that we got for winning this particular event? Was it first place or second place? She knew that they had gotten some kind of medal, but she couldn't remember all of the specifics. And it took a lot of time. She was trying to go back and remember, I know that this coach said that I had done, or an advisor for a club said this positive, they had said something positive about me, but I don't remember what it was. Well, it took a tremendous amount of time, and that was time that had she been tracking and keeping a list and had a system to track all of the accomplishments, to track those positive statements, to look at awards that she had won or that her team had won, it would have been a whole lot easier and saved her a tremendous amount of time. I don't want you to be stuck in that same boat. So no matter what grade you're in, no matter where you are, now is a great time for you to be able to start tracking those extracurricular activities, the awards, the different honors. Now, I do want you to keep in mind, this is not your resume that I'm talking about. A resume is a very specific list, and you want it to be concise as you are giving it to people, but it's a specific list of the activities that you've been involved in. This is actually a time and a place within the system that you can track what you did, who your contacts were, some of the different things that you need to do. It isn't something, it's not that resume. That's something that you can look at, and that we'll even look into covering in a future episode with the talking about what to include in a resume and what that looks like. But this is looking at just those extracurricular activities, and it's going to help you easily create your resume and to be able to complete your college applications. When you are going into the Common App, there are a certain number of spaces for those extracurricular activities that you can say, hey, I was involved in this. And they want to be able to know what you've done. And it's not just about what did you do I participated on this certain team. You want to really be able to use the descriptive words to talk about what you've done and your thesaurus. And I'll probably do another episode about this too, to give your best effort in and be able to show your best self and what you've done with those activities. So what I want you to take a look at is go back and listen to episode number 50, where we talk about the who, what, when, where, why, and how of extracurricular activities. So it's not just something at school. It's not just being in a sport. It is not just being in some type of fine art like band or a visual art or performing art, drawing or theater or anything like that. It can be so many different things. Student government, different clubs that are in your school. It might be a club that you're interested in because of a particular career, like DECA, which is a business club. HOSA is a health occupations club. Different athletics, that is absolutely something. And it's not just athletics that are offered at school. Maybe your school doesn't have a gymnastics team, and that is something that you participate in outside of school. So make sure to include that. Volunteering at a religious establishment that you are a part of, or volunteering in some type of community service and being able to give back to the community, something that you're passionate about, different hobbies that you might have. But again, go back and listen to episode number 50 for some of those specifics. And what I want you to do, and some of this is going to depend on you as the student and you as the parent, on how you are going to best be able to remember different things and to be able to talk through and use that list to create that resume, to create your college application. So you can do it in a list, and I have talked in previous episodes about creating a Gmail account and being able to have a shared Google Drive where you can have different information there, and it is dedicated specifically to your school. But you could make a Google Doc of the different things that you need and that you have done, and just have a list. Within that Google Doc, you can have a spreadsheet, and maybe in that spreadsheet you have different tabs of the activities that you have been involved in. And one tab might be, you could do it by grade level. So in 9th grade, here are the different things that I had completed here, and have a list of, your columns can be how many hours was I involved in this particular activity, who was the contact person for it, what was some positive feedback that I heard, was this volunteer work, was it paid work, and then you can have each of your rows can be the different activities that you have participated in. How many hours was it a week? Was it a month? Was it over the semester? Was this part of a club that you were in at school? Were there specific skills that you learned? Was it maybe an internship that you were involved in? And so you decided that you had learned you went to a hospital and you worked in their lab and you learned how to catalog samples of something. Or you helped in a nursing home in their activities department and you worked with some of the different residents. Then you can have by grade level. You also could look at it and sort everything by the type of activity. Is it something at school? is it something that's outside in the community, and base it that way. And then it's not just by year, you're looking at everything overall. So you could have one for athletics, you could have one for your employment, one for volunteer work, one for different clubs that happened at school. So there are several different ways that you can organize and track what you have been doing. One other piece of advice that I would give you, some high schools are going to require, and some states are going to require, that you complete volunteer hours for your school. Not everybody's going to require that though. And you need to be able to find out from your school and from your state and your district if that's something that's required. Whether it's required or not for graduation, I would definitely encourage you to track those volunteer hours and to know who your person is that you have been working with. My other piece of advice with that is I would create a spreadsheet that's specific to your volunteer hours and have a tracking system with the volunteer time so that you can say, okay, on this date, I went and I volunteered at this specific organization, and my contact person is this person, and I signed in at this time, and I left at that time. Have that contact person sign your log. Now, not every college is going to, so not every high school is going to require this. Not every college is going to need that. But if you want to have an accurate number of the hours that you have been volunteering, I would say that having those signatures and being able to know what you have done is one of the best things that you can do. Because sometimes there's turnover at different companies or organizations. Maybe they end up that something happens and there is a system crash, and so they're not able to track everything, or you don't end up getting credit for those hours. I have had, depending on the college, I have had representatives of that college reach out to me and say, hey, can you please confirm that this student was involved in this and this and this activity? And so things that happen at the school that I'm employed at, that I can easily track and can know because I know those students. But if you have a counselor who leaves the school and there's someone new who's coming in, you want to be able to go up to them and say, hey, listen, here's the list of the things that I was involved in. Here's how you can tell that. And to be able to make that person's job a whole lot easier and for things to go more smoothly for them. It just is going to help tremendously in the long run for you and the other person. And if you're asking that person to write you a letter of recommendation, it can be really helpful for them to go in and see, hey, here is, as you write, and I'll do another episode. This is giving me all kinds of thoughts of different episodes that I want to make sure that I record. But as you are asking someone to write a letter of reference or recommendation for you, to be able to have a document that says, here are the different things that I have been involved in, here's what I want you to know, kind of like a brag sheet, so that you can explain to them, here's what I've done, and if you could please include this information in your letter about me, I would greatly appreciate it. If it is there and spelled out, it makes that person's job so much easier. So those are just a few things that you can do to make your life easier, to make the life of the person who's writing those letters easier, and to be able to easily track those extracurricular activities. I hope that today has been helpful. I am, like I said before, I am really excited to be able to join and talk with you all every week again, to be able to share how things are going. What I want more than anything is, if there is a topic that you want me to cover, something that you think would be interesting or helpful to you, please send me a message on Instagram. You can find me at Confused to Ready on Instagram and Facebook. You also can send me a message on Facebook. Instagram is where I'm going to be a lot of the time. You also can send me an email at admin@confusedtoready.com. And I would love to be able to answer your questions. If you have any interest in working with me, you also can send me an email, admin@confusedtoready.com, and I will share some more information with you. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.